Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Yorkshire Gamers June update. I did one last month while nothing was going on, and there's still nothing going on this month. But welcome anyway. And I'm just going to go through some of the new figures that have poured off the production line this month, and have a look at a couple of bits and pieces that have arrived here through the post, and stuff that's going on whilst we're waiting for gaming to resume shortly. So the stuff in front of you now is 7TV and another game called Geezer's Shut It. It's cops and robbers in the sort of 70s Sweeney kind of era. Life on Mars, that sort of stuff. I think you might have seen the Life on Mars video. I've certainly shown those figures and the police figures that I've done before. And these are going to have their own blog post this month. And I'm quite pleased with this lot. They've really come out nicely. And I'm building up a stock of vehicles for the period as well. See Inspector Morse's Jag there, but if you've watched any 70s TV crime stuff, you'll know that the bad guys always had a Jag, and then a Ford Transit, which is of course the ubiquitous vehicle for criminals to use to get the booty away. So these are the bad guys. There are 8 shotgun wielding guys in the front with some of these. If we can get a focus. This guy's particularly nice with his balaclava on and a bag of money. Very nice, that one. And I'm just going to move the light source, bring it a little bit closer so it'll focus on stuff when I bring it towards the camera. So these are very nice figures. I've just done a very basic grey base for like concrete, and then stuck some tufts on them just to give them a bit of life. So have a look on the blog at that lot. There'll be some detailed photographs of them, and I'm going to do a separate piece on the buildings as well because they look rather nice. So I'll come back in a second with some other stuff that's new. So to go with the Sweeney stuff, I've been picking up some vehicles off eBay. 1/43 scale Vanguards is the main one I've been buying, but the 2 Austin J2 vans on the right are from Oxford Diecast. And you can see here this is Ford Cortina in purple. And this was like the number 2 car that was used in the early episodes of the Sweeney, when the main car was the gold Ford Consul. That wasn't cheap, that was about 25 quid. The Ford Consul, cheapest I found, is 50. I'm going to wait and see if I can, in true Yorkshire style, see if I can get it a bit cheaper. We've also got an ambulance, the white one. The J2 Morris van, see there, it's decked up as an ambulance. For what I'm doing is I'm going through some of the old Sweeney episodes and sort of designing scenarios based on those episodes. And the first episode, called Ringer, the villain uses a van as disguise. Always needs a police van. This is an Austin vehicle, just a generic police van that's going to use for some of those scenarios. So that's the new Sweeney stuff. Let's have a look what else we've got. So speaking of the Sweeney, the guy on the right is Crooked Dice 7TV figure. He's called the Tough Detective, and I've painted him up as best I can to look like Jack Regan from the Sweeney, so I'm going to use that figure for him. I haven't been able to find a Carter figure. There's one that Killer Bee Games do for their Geezers Shut It game, but it doesn't really fit in with these Crooked Dice figures, unfortunately. So I might use one of the bad guys as a substitute for now, and then just keep searching for something similar. To the left there is a camera and operator. Just bought that for a bit of a laugh, really. It's a fantastic figure that Crooked Dice do, and as you can see, it's been done up in the colours of Yorkshire TV. So that'll be featuring in the specials again soon. And then just very quickly to end up the 7TV stuff that's been finished recently. This is a group of 4 scientists figures that I picked up, and these are just for generic use, really. They could be scenarios for the Sweeney that they could come in useful, but also for the Blake 7 stuff that I've got. So it's just 4 handy figures to have lying around that could be used for multiple scenarios. So let's go and get historical. So getting back to historical stuff, and something I'm probably a bit better known for, the Italian Wars. And those of you who watched the May update last month might have seen the very start of this unit. I think we got most of the horses done and the flag was on and everything was black. So this is the finished unit, unit of mounted crossbow, black and yellow theme, which is a flag used by Giovanni Medici's Bande Nera later on in the war, but it'll just be a generic mounted crossbow unit for me to use. I'll just reset the position so you can have a better look at the figures. There we go, just a look across the side of the unit. It's 12 figures, all 28mm, all Perry's plastic light cavalry box set. Really, really nice box set, very versatile. You've got this, and then you've got you can use these, or you can use them with light lance, or as I've quite often done, use them for standard bearers for command stands. Very cheap, you're not going to get 12 standard bearers for 15 quid anywhere, that's for definite. Very pleased with that unit, it's quite nice. I've done a video recently on the horses, painting with oils, so if you like the look of the horses, check that out on the YouTube channel. So let's have a look at the other historical unit that we've got done this month. So here's the other unit that I got finished in May. This is a unit of 28mm Fire Forge mounted Crusader Sergeants, and if you follow the blog regularly, you'll have seen me building up a little force for the Kingdom of Jerusalem. The uniform, in inverted commas, is very much based around that was seen in the film Kingdom of Heaven, and it's backed up by the decals that are on the shields and also on the flag that are available from Battle Flag. I had a little bit of an issue with whilst I was doing one of the foot units, and I was finding that the decals were melting, just with application of water. They were sort of running colours, etc. But fair play to Battle Flag, I dropped them an email, and they dropped me a couple of sets in the post, which was great of them, and those have worked, so it was obviously just a faulty batch that didn't quite work. So that's the Kingdom of Jerusalem unit. They are the first unit of cavalry I've got. It's going to be a little mini force of 5 units. I've done 3 already: a foot crusader, sorry, a foot knight, a foot sergeant, and a foot crossbow. And then we've got these mounted sergeants, and there's going to be a fully fledged Knights of Jerusalem unit coming up soon. So we'll look forward to that. And just want to talk a little bit about a rule set that I've picked up, and So we'll be back in a minute. So, final thing I'm going to have a quick chat about is these set of rules called Geezer's Shut It, and as you can see, the lovely picture from the Sweeney on the front there. Games for coppers, blaggers and shooters on the streets of 1970s Great Britain. Now, if you're my age, mid-50s, this is what you grew up with, watching this sort of stuff. So I've already got and talked a little bit about 7TV, and I probably used that, or I've used that for Blake 7, and it worked really well. So I'm going to try that for the cops and robbers. But I saw this mentioned, and one particular thing I do like about rule sets is when they are specific to a genre or a period. So if you think about the rules that we use here, we like Furioso, it's specific for the Italian Wars. We like Deus Vult, it's specific for the Crusades. I'm not particularly keen on medieval rule sets, for example, rule sets that cover massive periods of time, because you just don't pick up the nuances of that particular period. And it's the same for ancients, and I've always struggled to get a decent set of ancient rules. Because the tactics and fighting of phalanx against pike with Alexander the Great when he was fighting with his father against the Greek states is completely different to early Republican Romans with the 3 lines of Princeps Triarii and the other lot, Velites at the front, Hastati, that's it. Very, very different tactics, very different methods of fighting, and then you can go with some rule sets all the way up to Viking Age and that sort of stuff, and it just doesn't sit right for me. I'd rather have something specific for a period and have 4 or 5 different sets of rules. Some people like it, the Hail Caesar, Black Powder, which is it's the same set of rules for everything. And it just seems like a generic game to me. So there we go. Anyway, I've had a rant. So these are the rules. I'm going to do or have a look into them in a little bit more detail, and maybe do a separate piece on them. But they have these lovely evidence chits that you use in the game, and you'll see things like spangles and space hoppers and evidence and fingerprints and footprints and beer and bacon butties. It's proper 70s stuff. So there we go. That's where we are with the Yorkshire Gamer at the moment, at the start of June, and we'll come back maybe at the end of this month or the start of next month, and let you know how we're getting on, new figures, new rules, etc., as and when they arrive. So thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you again soon.